I know that I make a lot of videos talking about just how awful DC Comics is, and believe me, they are awful, very very awful. They just keep putting on a lot of garbage, but Marvel is no better, and they're not far behind. And Marvel's voices, Marvel's pride, voices of voices, pride, whatever the hell it is, showed how downright. I mean, it's pretty hard for them to get low, and but they have gone lower with showing just how absolutely freaking awful they are with everything that they do. This is an article from Bounding into Comics, and wait until you hear what's in this. Wait until you really see what they're talking about. Woke Marvel digs even deeper with Super Trans, a support group for trans kids with powers. Christ almighty, boy. They're just doubling down on it, you know. There is no low to which woke Marvel Comics won't go, apparently not. And the comic book company proves it yet again with its debut of, wait for it, Super Trans, a support group for trans kids with powers. Marvel released its Marvel Voices Pride #1 on June 22nd, and the comic book featured a short story bearing the massively exciting title of LGBT-D. I tell you. Marvel is super proud of this too. Its official promotional material for the story, Marvel quotes author Grace Freud, as saying, "I wanted D-Man." I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea who D-Man is. I really don't. I don't know if this is somebody new to Marvel, somebody who's been around for a while. I don't know who D-Man is. One of Marvel's gayest and goofiest characters. Well, that explains why I don't know who this person is and why I don't want to know who this person is. To find a new purpose working at an LGBT youth center and mentoring this ragtag group of fruity knuckleheads. Oh, God. Everything about this song is rocking. Hope you like it, LGBT true belief. No, don't mess up. Do not take Stanley's saying and do that to it, please. Come on. Moving on, after Dumphy welcomes the kids to Super Trans, he turns to some serious business, which of course means it's time for him to talk about pronouns. Yes, because that's very important. Folks with an X, wait, are they pronounced the same? He says, why don't you introduce yourselves, pronouns and whatnot? This pronoun nonsense, I'm going to say this right off the bat, this pronoun nonsense is just some sick fad that people with too much time on their hands have decided to take up. They, them is not an actual pronoun for anybody. It does not depict a singular person. That is just stupid. And from there, we get more pronoun talk with 4 different characters spewing out gibberish for their introductions. You had to listen to this. I'm Pity Girl, or Nora, she, her. The first character says, I can hypnotize people with sad stories. I've got a lot of sad stories. Oh my God in heaven. Father in heaven's name, boy, wait. Let's move on. Alpheon, but call me Reed. They, them, both, cause I'm non-binary. Here we go. And there's a whole mostly empty universe inside of me. I freeze things. Anybody else seeing a pattern here? Anybody else? Okay. Third up, I'm Rex Ridley, aka Good Arson. Jesus, Father in heaven. And I'm a dude, and I light stuff on fire with my mind. And finally, we have the 4th character. Oh, well, I'm Soph, not Sophie. She, her, big time trans chick. What the to actually said big time trans chick and go by face shopper, not hopper, face shopper. I can shape shift into anyone as long as I think they're cool. Okay. Just awful dialogue. It's terrible to the point of being nonsensical. I mean, this entire thing shows that it's just downright insulting my Marvel. That's pretty much it. These so-called trans people, trans characters or heroes or whatever, people with powers, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, listen to this. I'm pity girl. I can hypnotize people with sad stories. I've got a lot of sad stories. What the hell kind of... I mean, so you basically said what all trans people are pitiful stories, and that's it. So, okay. Next one is non-binary. And there's a whole mostly empty universe inside of me. So you're just empty on the inside. Okay. Then we have good assen. I'm a dude and I light stuff on fire with my mind. Good assen, yeah? And finally, we have Soph, not Sophie. Big time trans chick. This is the problem, you know. You lead with this. And these characters literally have nothing more to themselves other than that. This is what you lead with. This is what you lead with. Beyond that, the names and abilities are ridiculously pathetic. Even if they are meant to be funny due to caricature and stereotype, they fail on that level. Boy, do they fail. As for the rest of the plot, Spider-Man and the Sinister Syndicate are in the midst of a battle when the Syndicate knocks him into the building where the Super Trans meeting is occurring. Wow, what a twist. After this, the characters in the Super Trans support group fight the Syndicate and end up winning. Yeah, because literally they end up winning. There's even this picture where you see this one who tells sad stories, people making this one some kind of duck up, wanna be cry. Boy. This is just so stupid. And in all, the more you read LGBT, the more you wish you would have actively gone out of your way to avoid it. Well, thank God I didn't read it. Again, it's just entirely unpleasant. But as dreadful as this story is, LGBTD and the Super Trans support groups certainly aren't as low as Marvel can go. The woke company can always find new ways to go even further. The only question is, what new depths of awfulness will it sink to next? Because this is their entire process. I have said it before, I will say it again. I'm sure I'm going to have to say it a couple hundred other times. When you are creating characters, when you push their sexuality or pronouns to the front, that is all you focus on. You are unable to tell any stories. I mean, this is just downright horrible. Don't get me wrong, this is just downright horrible. These characters are awful. This story is awful. This whole pride-obsessed nonsense is awful. This pronoun crap as they, them, she, her, all kind of nonsense. What the hell? This is a horrible story. It shows the depths Marvel is going to, and they're just basically insulting people. That's what it is. I mean, if you are a comic book reader and you're a trans person and you go into reading this thinking there's going to be something, some kind of action, some kind of something, you're sorely disappointed. It's just a crappy, god-awful nonsense put together to show, well, you know what? We don't really care about anybody. We're just going to put out this rubbish and hopefully you're going to like it. With a bunch of people, let's not forget Face Shopper, who a big-time trans chick who could change it, you could shapeshift into anybody as long as she think they're cool. What in God's name are you even doing with this thing? And my next one, our whole universe, a black hole empty on the inside and freeze things, one who hypnotizes people with sad stories. My God, man. Come on. Come on. Jeez, you father. This is just awful, god awful shit. Nobody should ever read this. This is the kind of thing you throw in the dustbin and pretend you never saw. It's not just DC, it's Marvel too. These people are creatively bankrupt and they just put out this nonsense because they don't have anything else to actually put or anything else to actually do. Nothing. This is ridiculous. How are these heroes? What about them is heroic? All you've done is sit around and talk about how she, her, they, them, sad stories, empty on the inside, big time trans chick, and some next idiot who could light people with his mind. Nothing about these people are heroic. The story is lazy. Them sitting around in their little trans support group with apparently the biggest, gayest character that Marvel has. As some kind of counselor or some nonsense, and then all of a sudden Spider-Man comes crashing through the wall. Yeah, big shocker there, big twist. Garbage, people. Absolute and utter garbage. You need to stop doing this nonsense. It's not fun, it's not good. It just shows how much Marvel wants to insult their readers. This is just crap.